This video is sponsored by Stockies, trading livestock with all the information.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from somewhere in New Zealand, it's the YouTube show with Dave Benson.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for dialing in. Thanks for pressing that button. And if your fingers are still twitching after the first button, feel free to hit that button right below, the big subscription button. It makes such a huge difference to the show. Welcome, digital citizens, meme aficionados. Welcome back to the #1 independent talk show on the planet. That's right, you heard it here. We are the #1 independent talk show on the planet. Now, to be clear, I was scrolling around the web over the last few weeks and I noted that there's a number of independent talk shows out there claiming their spots as being #1 for a city. So, after careful investigation into this, I have found that there is actually no facts behind this, none at all, and saying this is as realistic as saying that you've got the world's best coffee. So, sign me up for a latte, because according to absolutely no biased sources whatsoever, 6 people who I know voted, we are now the #1 talk show on the planet. And after 6 episodes, how cool is that?
When she received a Christmas gift that she always wanted, she couldn't believe it. Her mother asked what it was, and the dad said this.
Oh my God. What'd you get her?
Pair of slippers.
Who doesn't love Christmas slippers? Because nothing says this gift was an afterthought at the petrol station like some Christmas socks for your feet. Merry disappointment. Next up, let's have a look at mascot eyes. That truly was a mascot struggling to see where he's going. Being a mascot, it's like being blindfolded at a children's party, only somehow the kids are more violent.
This soldier suddenly collapsed while on an important ceremony, but his teammate behind noticed just in time and caught him before he could fall. Since the event was very important, he gently laid the soldier down and seamlessly took his place.
Oh man, I love that. When the drill sergeant said take a break, my man understood the assignment. 10 out of 10 form on that fall. The judges are holding up their scorecards. Now, I love this one. A cyclist with the world's least intimidating horn.
The lady in the background has no idea that she just created a new supervillain.
Riders straight, watch the gate.
That horn sounded like a stressed out rubber duck. Seriously, if you're going to challenge traffic, you might want something louder than a squeak squeak. Alright, let's get on with the show. And what a show we've got for you today. Actor, director, producer, author, Tim Mosley's here. We've also got voiceover legend, aka the bionic siren herself, Teri Cleary. And we are blessed to have music from Jason Nkanga. Roll the titles!
Welcome to the YouTube show, madness on demand. Waves of laughter, tears, and chaos at your hand. Lost inside the streams where dreams expand. Welcome to the YouTube show, can't understand.
My next guest is a multi-talented powerhouse. After graduating high school in Missouri in 1984, he served as a wartime combat veteran in the Navy before taking on roles in healthcare, law enforcement, and emergency management. In 2016, he made the bold leap into the entertainment world. Now thriving as an award-winning actor, screenwriter, director, and producer, his standout works include award-winning short films like Casually Not Dating and Cuffed Up, as well as the upcoming feature-length drama, The Prosecutor. He also leads his own production company called reelcinematvnetwork, serves as a radio correspondent, and has penned books like Now Let Us Pray and Old School Poet. And coming this June, he's going to be behind the microphone as the host of the Real STL Talk Show. Please welcome the ever-talented Tim Mosley.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, David. That was awesome, man. I appreciate that. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? An absolute pleasure to meet you.
Same here. Same here.
And it's your Saturday night in the States?
Yes.
What's the Saturday night look for Tim?
Really not doing too much today. I kind of had an early lunch, and I think I don't know, think about eating some dinner, maybe a pizza. Keep it light and exciting.
So no Saturday night crazy partying or anything like that?
I wish. Not this weekend.
Let's start at the beginning. So what was Tiny Tim like? What were your aspirations there? Because you went straight into the Navy. Like, were you always aspiring to be in the services?
Kind of yes and kind of no. My dad was in the service and his dad was in the service. So I was like, why not? And I was a young guy, and I was like, why not? I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see the world.
How long did you serve for?
I only stayed in for 3 years, mainly due to the Gulf War. I had no idea that was going to take place. So when that happened, I was like, yeah. After I survived it, I was like, yeah, I think I'll get off at the next exit.
And did your experiences in the Navy influence your decision to go into the film industry?
No, I had not gotten that far in my thinking. As a kid, I kind of always wanted to be in the movies. I used to watch, there was a show called Mannix, and I used to watch Mannix in particular, of course, Lone Ranger and stuff like that. And he would always have these fighting scenes, and I would be out in the backyard, and we had a hill in our yard, and I would be pretending like I was fighting somebody, and then I'd roll down the hill, and so I kind of always wanted to be. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I did. I kind of always wanted to be in the movies, or on TV or something. I just loved acting, and didn't even know how to act. Just love just mimicking other people doing stuff.
But when you came back, you went into healthcare and then law enforcement?
Yeah, so I went into healthcare. I started in what's called SPD or sterile processing, doing instrumentation for surgeries. And I started doing that, and just kind of happened upon it. I was filling out applications after I got out of the military, and they hired me with no experience, and that's kind of where that started. And I've been in and out of healthcare off and on since the early 90s. And then I kind of branched out a little bit, so to speak, and got into law enforcement on the fugitive recovery side of it. So I was a bail bondsman and fugitive recovery agent.
Did you catch any fugitives?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I did. As if I didn't need enough excitement.
Was it like the movies? Were you like, this person's in the woods, we got to go, and then the choppers come in and all the cars and you're running through the woods?
Well, it wasn't that exciting, but I should have said yeah, right? But as far as the whole get up with the bulletproof vest and the weapons and the handcuffs and the badge and the ID and all that, yeah, I did all that, and that was awesome. And we hunted for some people and we recovered some people, so that was an awesome experience. Wow. Yeah, I enjoyed it when I did it. Yeah, I did. I kind of wish that if I was going to stay in that field, that I had done that when I was younger, like in my maybe mid-20s to late 30s, and then I probably would have stayed in that longer. But, I just like to do different things because I get bored real easy.
You can't get bored right now. You've got so much going on. I mean, like the intro alone, I've had to write out a hell of a lot more than for most people. I'm like, what's going on here? When does this guy sleep?
I'll sleep when I'm dead. I just, no grass is growing under my feet.
Good on you. So what made you take the leap from that career then into acting and filmmaking? Yeah,
so what happened was one day I was like working myself crazy, working a couple of jobs and everything. And I'm like, at some point I want to do what I want to do, which was the acting thing, right? So I was like, okay, so it was like late 2016, and I said, well, if I'm going to do it now, I got to do it now. This is the time. So it was like July, August. I started applying for these independent film productions as a actor, And around September, October, I got into a film, and that was my first time. And I was like, this is it. I got the acting bug, like, yeah, this is it. And so I've been going at it ever since then.
What was the first thing? What was the hook? What was that one role? Was it like Bodyguard number 6?
I wish. It was a little film called Heidi versus Heidi. And there was a young lady that is actually deaf, and she was starring in the film. And I was the ice cream owner of a little shop that she came into. And so that was the time I was like, yeah, I'm loving it. This is what I want to do.
Was it a speaking part?
Yes. I had like 3 or 4 lines, and I was hooked.
So then, like, you went on, you did your short film, Casually Not Dating. Is that the trajectory straight after that?
No, actually, I was working on a film, one of my short films called Cuffed Up. And shortly after I finished doing Cuffed Up, a friend of mine, Karen Drewley, said, I want to get you to direct my short film. And it was a comedy. I was like, oh, I love comedy. I was like, yeah, I want to do it. I was interested in doing it. So she let me do her film, direct her film, Casually Not Dating. And it was awesome. And that's kind of when I got the behind the scene things, like, you know what, I kind of like being behind the camera just as much as in front of the camera, And it really worked out well. She actually, her film actually won some international awards and some local awards as well.
In Cuffed Up, again, for you, the person who doesn't like to sit still, you acted, you wrote, you directed, you produced. How the hell did you do all of that?
It was difficult, but I wear a lot of hats, and it's like, I don't know, maybe, I know there's a term for it, but it's like I have to do it because then I know it's done not only the right way, quote unquote, but the way I want it done. So I'm a little looser now, but that was in the beginning. So I was like, yeah, this is my concept, and it was based loosely off of a situation that happened. I played the bail bondsman and the future the recovery agent, and the whole thing was kind of loosely based off of an experience I had, and I just kind of added some things to it and took some things out and came up with the concept and did it. Yeah.
And you've got The Prosecutor. That's the next one that's set for release. What can we expect to see from that one?
That one is, again, I wrote it and directed it and produced it and all that good stuff. And I didn't act in it this time. I thought about it. I was like, I can write myself in here, but I didn't. I was like, you know what, just step back and just have fun. And so that's an attorney, a promising attorney that is politically motivated, and she needs to solve a problem that has come up in her life, and she solves the problem. And nobody's going to think that she solved the problem because she's a prosecutor and she's running for office. I mean, come on. She's straight as an arrow, right? Wrong. It's kind of like a thriller kind of thing, Yeah. And I've already heard talks of part 2, and I was like, yeah, this could be a part 2 to it. Yeah.
Are you going to be in part 2? Are you going to act in part 2?
I'm thinking about it, but I don't know.
So tell us about your production company. What kind of stories are coming out of that? What can we expect in the future under that banner?
So in the future, I have written a short film miniseries thingy. I'm leaning more toward miniseries. You can expect to see Insanity, which is about 2 wonderful FBI agents that have a moral conflicts, shall we say, and they get things done. They get things done. Okay, I don't want to give it all away, but I'm still working on that as far as getting that produced. There's another one, Sadie and Sarge, that I wrote, and in the process of getting that produced. I want that to be my first full feature film. And so there's a little bit more work that needs to go into that. I'm not going to be in any of these, by the way. I'm just behind the camera. So, yeah. And there's also one, My Brother's Keeper. That one has a personal touch to it. And I want to put that out there as well. And right now it's going to be a short film. But that one hits close to home. And I want to put that one out there as well. And there's one called Midwest Life that I'm actually done with it. I just have to get it edited, and then it'll be out there and ready to go. And that started out as a mini series. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. So those are the 4-ish projects that I have.
Now, you've written 2 books, Now Let Us Pray and Old School Poet. What are they about, and where did they come from?
Old School Poet came from my high school days. So when I was courting my wife, my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, I was writing poetry. You know, I was in love, I was young, and I was like, I was writing everything down. And 20 plus years, more like 30 plus years later, I discovered that she had kept the poems that I wrote her. And not only that, she had wrote some herself. And when I discovered that, I was like, oh, I should probably do something with this. And so I just basically put it into a book format, and that's where Old School Poet came from. So yeah, I'm like, I don't know, love poet or something, I don't know. But going back and reading those, I was like, man, this is pretty good. I think, I don't know, I could be biased, but I enjoyed it. Yeah. So that's where the Old School Poet came from. And more on a serious note, Now Let Us Pray is more about me being a Black guy in America and growing up and having some most of my childhood was really great. It was awesome. There were a few bumps along the way as far as dealing with racial issues and things of that nature, and that's what Now Let Us Pray is about. And it's about how we as Black people can rise above the situations that we encounter, as well as the situations that we cause. And that just came out of experiences and knowing firsthand of situations, and this is how you can deal with it. So that's what Now Let Us Pray is about.
Let's talk about the Real STL talk show. So Where did that come from? What's that all about? How did that fit into the wider things that you're doing?
This was about a year and a half ago. This thing popped into my head. I said, I want to be a talk show host. Now, I just woke up and it was there, and I was like, yeah. And I couldn't get rid of that thought, So 3-4 months down the road, I'm thinking, how do I do this? Because I didn't have a roadmap or anything, and nobody I knew that was in it. And so I was like, so I'm going to plot this thing out. And so I started plotting out. And so that was late 2023. Now we're into 2024, and I'm still plotting. So once I found my co-host, I was like, yeah, now I'm going to do this. So I'm thinking 2024, we're going to get it done. I was contacting these places and see if I can get some rental space, yada, yada, yada. Next thing you know, it's 2025. And I'm like, this is never going to work, until I contacted this one other place, this one last place that I never contacted. And they said, yes, we can accommodate you. Ta-da! So here I am. And that was January-ish, early February. And so we're going to start filming in late June. And we're going to do the live audience and the whole nine. I dreamed it up in my head. I was like, yeah, so this is great.
It has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today and to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your time. For any details or information about Tim, his upcoming work, his books, his movies, can all be found right here or in the comments down below. We're going to be back right after these messages.
Hi, my name's Aaron Ryan, and I am a sci-fi writer from Seattle, Washington. I wanted to introduce you to the Dissonance Quadrilogy. It's a set of 4 books that are set in the years 2026, and 2042. In 2026, an alien invasion happened. A very dystopian, post-apocalyptic environment ensued from that alien invasion. They drifted out of the sky one day. We didn't know what they were. We didn't know what they wanted. They just hovered there for 3 months. On September 3rd, 2026, they went live. They activated, and they hunted down all of mankind, killing off 85% of humanity within 3 months. As such, we're forced to live in the shadows and eke out an existence. We fight back by running. We call them Gorgons because, like the mythical Medusa the Gorgon, you cannot lock eyes with them. If you do, and they with you, they have a telepathic paralytic to freeze you where you stand and consume you at their leisure. Really bad day. So your best defense truly is to run. The series starts with the prequel, which is Dissonance Volume 0 Revelation, set in 2026, before and immediately following the invasion, and leading up to the counterstrike that happens in the year 2042, set in the trilogy of books Dissonance Volume 1 Reality, Dissonance Volume 2 Reckoning, and Dissonance Volume 3 Renegade. A climactic, powerful set of battles where we eventually, spoiler, kick the enemies to the curb. We are humans, we have to win. Good news, happy ending. Check him out today at dissonancetheseries.com. I am inordinately proud of this entire quadrilogy. Right now, Dissonance Volume 1 Reality is being adapted to the screen for Netflix, Paramount Plus, Apple TV Plus, Prime Video. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I hope you'll check it out at dissonancetheseries.com. You can also visit authoraaronryan.com/blog and sign up on the blog to be kept informed of future releases or anything else that's coming down the pipe related to Dissonance. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've never written anything as good as this. It is the best thing I've ever written, and I'm so grateful for how it turned out. I hope you enjoy the Dissonance quadrilogy. Take care.
My next guest is a dynamic voiceover artist, actress, model, and mental health advocate from Springfield, Ohio. After a 9-year hiatus from her previous career as a medical assistant, she reinvented herself in the world of voiceover, bringing resiliency and authenticity to every project. Her work spans corporate branding, commercials, e-learning, and podcasting, all delivered from a professional home studio. Beyond the microphone, she's a passionate mental health advocate and an avid gamer and TikTok content creator. Please welcome to the show the bionic siren herself, Teri Cleary. Teri, welcome.
Thank you, Dave. I'm so privileged to be here. Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing? You having a good night? It's Saturday night over there at the minute?
I am having a wonderful day. As a matter of fact, I just scheduled a new round of voiceover training with another studio or company. There's a waiting list to get onto it, and they bumped me to the front of the line.
Wow. What did you do to get bumped?
When I gave her my story, she was like, you know what? I want you to come and do this now. And I was like, okay, more than happy. So yeah. And
Wow.
you know what? No matter where you are in voiceover in your journey, whether you're just starting out, and I've only been doing it technically since I had my first demos done in August, and I've been working steady since October.
That's amazing. And you made a bold career choice because you took nearly a decade off, and then you came back and you weren't doing voiceover before. So what was the shift? What made you give it a go?
So let me give you a little bit of background. One, so that hiatus that I took was because I am disabled. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I've had both of my knees replaced twice, and I have hardware in my neck and back. I've had my hip operated on. So I was in the medical field prior. I was a medical assistant and a medical secretary, and had to retire from that because of, physical disabilities. And so, I've been on Social Security since then. But I had a really bad breakup over a year ago, and I sat here and I thought, you know what, I need to do something for myself because I was really struggling with it. I have ADHD, which lends itself to what's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, and so which can really bog a person down in their mind. And so that was really, really hurtful. And I knew I needed to do something to get past that. And so I sat here and I thought my gamer tag has been Bionic Siren for a really long time. And Bionic, of course, because of all my replacement parts, and Siren because they always loved my voice. And so as I'm sitting here thinking, what do I do with myself? I thought to myself, I've always wanted to be a performer, whether it be a singer, an actor, whatever. And then I thought, you know what? I can use my voice to literally bring myself independence financially and be on my own. Because I still live with my mother. Well, not still, but I live with my mother due to domestic violence a few years ago. I had to flee Florida to come up here to Ohio, literally overnight.
Wow.
So lost everything. And, I just brought my cat and, but we're safe and it's all good. I've just been sort of, the first couple years, it's really hard to sort of get out of that. I mean, it was shocking and it was traumatic. And then, of course, the breakup from the boyfriend, that was really difficult too. And I knew I needed to do something. So I knew I could use my voice.
Wow, that's awesome. And do you have any go-to rituals that you do before you start out? So is there anything before you get into the booth that you do?
I'll give you one of my sayings that I say to myself. And this was the very first one I started saying to myself last year that really, really helped me. And it's one that I just came up with myself. And it goes like this. And I do this in the morning, and you should do this in the morning. This is what I teach. You should do it in the morning before you even pull back the covers, because your mind is still in that sort of half awake, half asleep state. And it sinks into a certain part of your brain during that time. And it goes like this. I am light. I am love. I am luck. I am opportunity. And I am wealth. And by the way, the wealth part is not money. It's wealth of having people around you that you love, that kind of wealth. And at night as well, I instruct people to say it at night, just as you're falling asleep and putting your head on the pillow as well. And I encourage people to say it in the morning 10 times and at night 10 times. Because there's a part of your brain that it's, for lack of a better term, listening. And it is taking that information in and really sinking it into you so that you feel like you are those things. And when you feel like you are those things and you keep telling yourself that you are, you become those things. So it has worked beautifully with me. I know other people that I have helped on TikTok still do it, which is great. And I really appreciate the fact that people like what I'm doing there in that space, because I recently started a new book. In fact, the rest of my books will all be mental health. The new book is for men, getting in touch with who they are as people, letting go of the anger that they carry. And it's, going to be specifically for men. So then my next one is a memoir of my life. And I actually started on that, but that one's a little harder to do just because of all the different traumas and things. And I'm starting from my childhood up. So I'm busy. I'm really busy. And then of course I'll be starting 2 podcasts. One is going to be about business and marketing, and it's with a gentleman who actually knows all of those things. And I'm going to be the lay person, asking questions like, what do we do? And another one is going to be with another young man. It's going to be called The Adult Table. And, it's basically going to be geared toward Gen Z. And more specifically, young men in the Gen Z generation. And one, getting them out of the house from behind the computer. And 2, hopefully getting them to go out and experience actual life instead of behind a computer screen. And I'm basically going to be the den mother. for the conversations.
I love that. And like, you're an avid gamer, so you must talk to a lot of young men through your gaming that are not like leaving the house. They're not getting away. So it's kind of a contradiction of, hey guys, you know, I'm in here with you, but you guys need to get out there and do some other things and be more free.
Exactly. Well, it's so that the book is called Raised by Shadows. That'll be the book title. And it's basically, you know, for especially these young men and Gen Z, to not only get them out and experience life, but heal themselves from their wounds. You know, a lot of us are raised in chaos. I know I was. And it's those people that I want to reach and get them to understand that the hate that they carry is really a wound that needs to be healed. And that can be healed through teaching self-love, self-care, compassion, empathy. And I know these young men are not so far gone that we can't do that for them. And I really do think that it is a mission that's important because, you know, today's society is really, at least here in America, I would say it's a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos, and these kids are growing up in that. And a lot of them, you know, maybe they have both parents at home. However, if that environment is anything like mine was, it's traumatic. And growing up in that kind of trauma lends itself to certain things as an adult and certain views one way or another. And what I noticed in Gen Z is, especially the young men, is a lot of hate. And they're learning that from our culture. And our culture needs to change.
I agree. And I think that they can get distracted and hide away from a lot of their emotions and feelings too much with, it's not just the gaming that's on PCs and PS5s, it's the doom scrolling, it's the phones, it's distraction techniques to be able to say, well, I don't have to deal with this anymore because I can go into this world. But you're quite right, because those emotions aren't going away. And as soon as that's finished, who's dealing with it?
Right. And it stagnates a person. It stagnates a person. It can stagnate you for the rest of your life, like it did me. I mean, I literally kind of in a way feel like, you know, for at least my adult life from, you know, the age of 22 on till last year at the age of 55, I was somewhat stagnant, you know, inside my soul, my person. I was sort of a stagnant person in a void, not knowing who I was. And so because I have been able, and trust me, I'm still learning about myself. But what I have learned, I want to freely and willingly share with other people, who are also hurting and looking for a place to feel like it's safe and they belong.
So, as an avid gamer, your TikTok, is the TikTok focused on gaming or is the TikTok focused on mental health?
No, the TikTok is definitely focused on empowerment. I don't do any like gaming stuff in there. I do probably have a couple of posts that are voiceover related, but no, not the gaming. And it's interesting that you would say that because my daughter had said to me years ago, I was still living in Florida at the time, and she said to me, Mom, you need to, you know, start, you know, broadcasting your gaming. She's like, you're really funny, you're really witty, and people love you. You can make money, you can monetize. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm not sure I really want to do that. I mean, and I know I could, because I really do have a good time with my friends. And we talk about a whole lot of stuff that I'm not sure is appropriate. I'm not sure is appropriate. I mean, we have our chat. It's called our, I can just say this.
Yeah.
Our chat group is called Our Privates.
That's fun.
It's a play on words, of course. But yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of fun, no doubt. I do a lot of cooperative gaming, and we have a really nice, close-knit group of friends that we get on each other's nerves and everything, and I love it. We're great. And that's actually where I met my fiance. I've known him for years, and he's a wonderful guy. I just love him to death. His name's Alan. Yeah, I love it. And for the longest time, I said I would never date anybody who wasn't a gamer, and I meant it. And yeah, I don't think I could be with somebody who wasn't a gamer because it's a bigger part of my life. And it was something that I used to sort of, get away from life.
Yeah.
I did use it somewhat as a crutch. But sometimes you need that diversion. Sometimes. You just can't use it as your go-to for everything and ignore actual life and people in it. So yeah, I love gaming. I'll never not do it. The game I'm playing, I play Diablo right now, and I can't remember the other one again. Dragon Age. I'm doing the new Dragon because it was the free game this month on PlayStation.
Right.
If you're a PS Plus. It actually was free this month. I was really surprised. So I was like, yeah. So I downloaded it and I've been playing it for the last, I don't know, like week maybe. And Skyrim is my all-time favorite game. I'll never not play it. Hopefully they'll always have it available on whatever platforms they have because I absolutely love that game. Can't believe how much I love that game. It was wonderful. Where I met most of my friends, by the way, all my gaming friends, cooperative gaming friends, was on Destiny. Don't know if you've heard of Destiny. It's a sci-fi first-person shooter.
Yep. Yes.
So I do first-person shooters too. But aliens. I can't really do first-person shooters with people, but I kind of draw the line there. But I'll watch other people do it. But yeah, it's a really fun game, and that's where I met all of my friends on Destiny and Destiny 2. Most of us don't really play it anymore, but we've all stuck together since then, and we've gone on to play other games together. And a lot of times we'll be in a chat. And some will be playing one game and some will be playing another. And, it is a lot of fun, and it creates a really good community of people. I'll give it that. But again, it's not a replacement for living. It's just for your enjoyment. It's entertainment.
Yes.
Entertainment shouldn't be how you live your life unless you are an entertainer. So get out from behind your screens, get out and enjoy life. And more specifically, like I tell my viewers, get into nature. Nature is a very powerful healer. It puts out things in the air, chemicals in the air that help clear your mind. It helps you think, and it helps you literally heal your body.
I love it. Wise words from Teri Cleary. Teri, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you having me on. Wow.
For any details on Teri's podcast, Teri's TikTok, Teri's books, anything, it's going to be found right here below and in the comments. And we'll be back right after these messages.
Welcome, Buckley. Welcome to the FreeMind Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the FreeMind Podcast. This is Rob Lee, and we are doing acro yoga. All right, man. I got some questions for you this week.
And welcome back to the YouTube show.
You know my story, right? Rise to fame from the pain.
Next up, we've got music from Jason Nkanga, and this song's called Real Talk.
Yeah, the pen game so sick, now I'm sorry. The venom in me could kill a whole army. Top of the
shit, yeah, the flow demonic. Real talk, who could do this shit so solid? The pen game so sick, nah, I'm sorry. The venom in me could kill a whole army. Top of the shit, yeah, the flow demonic. Real talk, who could do this shit so solid? I ain't seen much niggas with a problem. Spitting hardcore with a bars that could drown them. When I rap, nigga, it's just me and I'm flawless. In a room full of MCs, I'm the hardest. Sick with this shit, yeah, this shit so chronic. Can steal your girl, nigga, I'm just slick to be honest. Real bad boy with a rap so clean. I could eat this shit like Edie Amin. I go hard with this shit, I don't care for the comments. Only getting older and the rap is astounding. Must be anemic cause the boy's so cold. If you bet on me, nigga, watch your stocks, they'll grow. I'm the chosen one in this damn rap game. When I spit on the track, they say, boy, you insane. Real good music with a little attitude. Who could do one better, nigga, I ain't got a clue now. The pen game so sick, nah, I'm sorry. The venom in me could kill a whole army. Top of the shit, yeah, the flow demonic. Real talk, who could do this shit so solid? The pen game so sick, nah, I'm sorry. The venom in me could kill a whole army. Top of the shit, yeah, the flow demonic. Real talk, who could do this shit so solid?